Hi, this quick video tutorial is to show how to go about configuring WordPress for Joomla right after you've done the original install. And we'll basically go over setting up the menu, looking at the blog on the front end of the site, and looking through the configuration through the WordPress dashboard. So let's start by simply creating the menu. And I'm creating this video right after doing the installation video a few minutes ago. So here's WordPress, brand new install. I haven't done absolutely nothing with it. And so let's go and set up this menu item. I'll open up the front end of the site here in a new tab up here. I'll move this over there. And let's click on new. Basically just click on WordPress. WordPress currently doesn't have any extra options for different menus like articles or any of these other ones do. So you'll just click on WordPress and you can just name your blog, or whatever you want. Let's click on save. Let's go over here to front end. And now we have our blog set up. Currently it doesn't look very pretty or appealing. We have the sidebar down here, which is turned on by default. You can also move this sidebar and put it over here on the left, or any other module position that you have on your template as an actual module. Right now this sidebar is displaying inside the template. So let's look at the WordPress configuration to make those little tweaks and make it look a little nicer. Under settings, if you go to general, there's an option down here, show sidebar. There's not much of a good explanation, which there should be one. Put that on the to-do for the next release. Either way, what this means, show sidebar, this just means do you want to show the sidebar within the component area of the site, which the component area of this template is basically from this point up here, and I'll kind of show you this point up here till right about that much. It actually comes way down here, but that's the component area of the site. Then you have this left module position and all these other module positions up here that you currently can't see because there's no modules there. So either way, we'll select no. And just a little overview of how of what these other options mean. The CSS style sheet, let's go back to the blog and let's click on Hello World, which is the first post, the only post. Some people have had problems with, well, because they actually have two sidebars on their template. One which is the left sidebar right here, and then the right sidebar, which will normally be over here. And sometimes the sidebars end up being a little wider, such as this. And some people have had problems because you see this, the actual text will start going over the sidebar if you have a sidebar that's this wide. Instead, you want to remove this space right here and flush this text over to the left. There's no, for those of us that may not know CSS, which is the styling of the site, there's a really easy way for you to remove that. Unfortunately, it'll remove all these other styles that are preset. But currently you can do this by going over to the CSS style sheet and change it from default to, say, minimal. Let's click on save. Let's look at how the page looks. Let's go back to the blog, and as you can see, there's no more sidebar down here. If you click on Hello World, okay, I guess the minimal style sheet still has it, but the styles are a bit different now. Let's go back here and click on, let's do none. So now you can see it all flush left. Unfortunately, all these styles are gone. But if you do have styles on your template, all these heading tags and whatnot will acquire those styles for your template. This is the Joomla default theme. Doesn't have a whole lot of styles. It doesn't account for a lot of the third-party extensions. So maybe you will have problems, maybe you won't. If you do have problems, let's go over here real quick and let's click on default, and let's go to appearance, and let's go to the editor, which allows you to actually edit the style sheets. And this style.css file is the actual default style sheet. Then we have the custom and the minimal. As you can see, C for custom, M for minimal. So let's click on style.css. And let me see here. I fixed this quite a bit of time. Well, not fixed it, but changed it for some websites that left with that I showed you previously. It's right here. Wide column 150. We can just change this to 0. Let's click update. Let's go back here. And there you have it. We don't have that left area over here, and we can still keep all the default styles, which ends up looking pretty nice in my opinion. Right here you see this blank space. Don't worry right now. If we create more posts, which you will because it's your blog, you'll see the navigation, next post or previous post up here. So don't worry about that space right now. I just only have one post. So let's go back. And just as a reminder, make sure that these files are writable by the server. If they're not writable, WordPress will automatically detect that it cannot write to those files on the file system, and this button won't even show. It'll just tell you, please make this file writable to actually be able to edit it. Of course, you can also edit the file through FTP and using an editor. And just to show you real quick, this is the root of my Joomla site. If you go under images, WordPress, themes, default, and then style.css, this is the exact same file that I was just editing a second ago, and you have the style_C for custom and M for minimal styles. Alright. This is a little self-explanatory. If you click over here, we have some documentation on that. But basically, role syncing means that if a user that was previously an administrator and say was demoted to a subscriber because whatever reason they're no longer needed on the site, and if they visit the blog again, automatically WordPress will demote them to a subscriber. Because with WordPress we have the WordPress user groups and we have the Joomla user groups, and I've done my best to mash them together as best as I can. But if you click here, there's a lot more information. I could talk about it for another 10-15 minutes. This is the WordPress default content path. As I showed you a little bit ago, this is the content folder currently, this WordPress folder. And now the default content folder is actually inside the component folder and inside of WordPress. This folder called WP_content. As you can see, it has the same exact folders. The only problem with having your content folder right here is if you uninstall the extension to upgrade to the next version. Once we do come out with the next version, all your plugins, themes, and uploaded files will be deleted. So this is the reason why we moved down there, the images folder, and under WordPress, right? So if it says no on your site, that is the good thing. If it does say yes, then you want to actually move that folder from the component over here and rename it to WordPress. but there's instructions once you do the installation. Alright, and I mean that's basically the setting up of WordPress after the installation. It's pretty basic. I will go over in a few other videos on how to edit the themes, install the plugins, upload files, but those are the basics. Well, you know what, let me show you one more thing that I forgot to do with my installation. If you go to the administrator folder and go under components, you'll find the com_WordPress, and of course you have to do this through FTP. You have to move this folder, WordPress.php, and you have to move it over here. And I just moved it right here under the administrator folder. The reason why I moved it right there is because of this Flash uploader. Whenever you add a new post and you want to add any media files, there will be a Flash uploader right here, which will allow you to add multiple media files at the same with basically one upload, rather than uploading one file at a time. It's really helpful, and if you don't move that file over here, you just can't do it. So that's the basics of setting WordPress after installation. Hope you like this mini tutorial.